me, but I'm Emily, newly senior Ruby, which is really exciting. So thank you, team. But yes, we've been doing lots of three-way calls, and the reason is they work. They really just work. And for years now, been hearing if you want to be successful, do what successful people do. So you can watch a million different videos of diamonds, and they will all say, get on the phone with your people. That's what you need to do because that's where connection is going to be made, right? Connection is super important. Connection is going to keep people above loving their products. It's going to keep people above anything else as a connection they have. So get on the phone with your people, connect with them. You're going to be able to do that way more in a phone call, actually having a conversation, than through texting or even voicemails. I'm a voicemail queen. And I love voicemails, but there's still a lot of things that just won't be conveyed through a voice message. There's also opportunity for somebody to not respond to you in a voice message, okay? And when you're on the phone, people don't have that luxury because they either have to sit there awkwardly or hang up on you. And that would be weird. So we're not going to do that, right? We're going to get on the phone. We're going to have conversations with people, and we're going to dig a little bit, and we're going to cast vision, and we're going to third-party validate. Because that is a huge, huge, powerful tool. Because if I'm talking to Jennifer and I'm telling her something, and she's like, yeah, that sounds great. Sounds great. Well, it sounds great. But then if Katie comes along and tells Jennifer the same thing that I said that is also great, now she's thinking it's doubly great. So maybe she really should look at it. Then if Haley comes along and says, Jennifer, this is so good. You really should do this. You should use this shampoo or watch this movie or take these gut health products. Then she's thinking, okay, that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 people now that have told me this. Maybe I should look at it or figure out why I'm not looking at it, right? So third-party validation is super, super, super important. Also, why I love three-way calls. Let's get third and three, and it's like all jumbled up. But the reason I love three-way calls is because our team is amazing and our culture is amazing, and there's nothing else like it out there anywhere. We've got something super, super special for people to plug into, and these calls are just a glimpse, a look into what we have here, because everybody needs this. I didn't know I needed it for sure. I was kind of happy at my house alone with my 2 children, but I didn't have like a, network or a little bubble of friends that we went shopping or went to the beach or went to the movies or any of that stuff. I didn't have it. And I kind of thought I might want it, but I was kind of happy to just be alone and not have drama or, whatever was in my mind that was probably just made up. But this culture has changed my whole world. And so I definitely want to share that with people. So get your people on the phone. They work. That's what successful people do. And just to show you they work, me and Haley ran a little bit of numbers last night. 9 three-way calls over the past month-ish. 6 of those girls are now silver. Okay? Those are powerful statistics. I don't know what a percentage would be on that.
I mean, that's a good one. We'll go.
6 out of 9 is really good numbers, right? That means 66%. 66% of people that we have gotten on the phone are now silver and beyond. We have gonna be senior gold out of that this month that joined in January. Okay.
January 28th.
Very end of January. She's fixing to hit senior gold. 3-way calls. Haley got on a welcome call. She's fixing to be Ruby. They are powerful, y'all. So use them, use them, use them. So what the heck do you say on a call? Well, first of all, you have to get somebody on the call. So how do you do that? Because this is a hang up for a lot of us. It was for me because number one, I did not like talking on the phone at all. That little meme that says, the 10 best ways to contact me and everything, including smoke signals, is before talking on the phone. That's me. I didn't enjoy talking on the phone. So I can relate. I still do not thoroughly enjoy talking on the phone, but I do love my welcome calls because I know they're successful and I've seen them work. And I do now enjoy talking to my friends on the phone. So, we're making personal growth, baby steps here. But they work, like Brittany said, Everybody can do this. Not everybody will, because it takes being uncomfortable. Being on the phone made me uncomfortable. Behind a message, I can type and I can think and I can erase, and I can go and go and go, and then finally send something that I feel like, oh, that was perfection, right? You can't do that on the phone. So that made me nervous. And it probably makes a lot of y'all nervous. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. What if they say this? Well, how do I respond? Well, you just jump in the deep end and figure it out. That's really all I can tell you. But we have tools. We have objections, right? We know how to handle them. If you don't, you can learn. So just get familiar with the skills of handling objections, good questions to ask. And then the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to become. My first welcome calls, probably a train wreck. But they get better and better. And I still have some. We had one the other day, and I messaged Haley after, and I was like, how was that? Because I felt like a bobblehead. Like I was all over the place. And she was like, no, it was great. She probably was not great, but that,
That one's silver too.
Yes.
So.
See, it just doesn't matter. Get on the phone. They're effective. But you have to sell the call to your people, okay? And this is not hard. You will have some resistance probably because people are busy, but here's what you say. Haley gets a new joint, Whitney. We did a call with Whitney, and we'll get her, she's talking to Whitney, and she's like, hey, Whitney, I'm so excited you just joined. Listen, I really want you to meet my friend Emily. I want you to hear her story. She got me started. She's helped me so much, and I really would love for you to just talk with her for a few minutes, hear her story, let her answer any questions you have. She's going to be a great added support for you. 15 minutes. Can we do it tomorrow at 6? And that's it. Like, it's not threatening. You're not trying to take an hour and a half of their time, any of that. Just super simple, but you have to sell them on the value of the call. Don't get a new join and say, hey, Jennifer, I'm so glad you joined. My friend Emily wants to talk with you and tell you all the things about Plexus, because they're going to be like, no, sorry, my kid's got a ball game. We don't want that. So just sell them on the value. Make it simple, non-threatening. This is my friend. I love her. She's helped me a ton. I really want you to hear her story because she will be a great help to you too. It's super simple. So that's all it takes to get somebody on the phone. But you get them on there, and then what do? Well, let's just say Haley's bringing me a call. It's her job to introduce us to start the call. And then that's really all she has to do. Okay. So she's going to bring them on. Hey, Whitney, this is Emily. She's the one I was telling you about. Emily, this is Whitney. She's my friend. She just teaches with me, whatever. Simple little connection. And then I'll come in and take the call from there. Hey, Whitney, I'm so glad to meet you. Haley's told me about you. She's really excited for you to get started. So I'm going to connect at the beginning. You're going to connect. You want to ask some questions. She tells me you're a teacher. What grade do you teach? How long have you been doing that? Just simple. Doesn't mean you don't have to have their dang life history, but just a few simple things, something you can connect with, and then we're going to go from there. So what I'm doing while I'm asking questions is I'm listening to what she's telling me, because probably somewhere in what she's telling me is going to be a pain point or two. Yes, I'm a teacher. I also would like to have more money. Between the lines. She's not going to come out and say, I would like to have more money. Most people aren't going to do that. Or she's going to say, yeah, my husband's a doctor. Well, that's great. She probably doesn't have time with him, he probably is super busy. So listen between the lines. That's what you're doing during this first just couple of minutes, not very long, 3-4 minutes connecting. And then I always say, all right, thank you for sharing all that with me. I'm so happy to meet you. What I want to do is just share my story with you real quick and then answer any questions you have, if that's okay. Get their buy-in on that, because they may not want to hear your story, and I don't know why they would be on the call if they didn't, but get their buy-in. And then I'll share my story super quick, 2-3 minutes tops. And what I have begun to do over the process of doing these welcome calls is my health story is shorter, and I'm throwing in more of my business story, but mixing it into where it doesn't sound like, hey, let me tell you about all this, business and money that I'm doing, but just kind of different things that it's doing in my life, and then bringing in the community with it too. Sharing all of these different aspects in one little 2 to 3 minute thing. So we're hitting health, we're hitting finances, we're hitting community, all the things, time freedom. And then when I'm done with my story, I just simply say, do you have any questions for me right now? And sometimes they're like, no. And then you have to kind of, go from there. But most of the time, they do have a question or two. Almost always it's going to be about the products. Can I drink toothpaste? I saw somebody drinking toothpaste drinks. Can I do that? And then, just answer that question real quick. And then I will go into my business side of the call without them really even knowing that's exactly what's happening. But a lot of times I ask the same questions Brittany did, and I'll say, listen, I'm just curious. Have you ever thought about doing this, what we do? Have you thought about that at all? And they will 98% of the time say, yeah, but almost always. I mean, it's very rare somebody's like, no, absolutely not, never in a million years. It's usually, yeah, but. And it's going to be same three things. Yeah, but I'm not a salesperson. Yeah, but I just don't have time. Yeah, but I don't know anybody. Or, yeah, but I really just need to believe in what I'm doing. I really need my own story first. That's a big one. And so at that point, we handle this objection. And we don't do it by saying, well, you really don't need to believe in what you're doing, or you don't need to have your story. You say, feel, felt, found. Yeah, I totally get that, because I feel the same way. I really need to believe in something that I'm asking other people to come and do with me. We need that belief. I actually did another company before this, and it was jewelry, and I didn't believe in it because I knew that I was going to go to Target and buy this necklace that I was asking them to pay $60 for. I didn't feel good about that. I didn't believe in it. But what I found was these products that everybody in my life needed, and it didn't take long for me to believe in that because I became passionate about helping people. And so just handle those objections. And then usually after I handle it, I'll say, well, how do you feel about that? This has become my new favorite question. How do you feel about that? And then they'll respond. And sometimes they'll say, yeah, I get that, whatever. And then if they have another objection, we'll answer it. If not, we'll just move forward. And so that's when I will ask them about their dreams. What do they see for their life? And I use a lot of the same stuff that Brittany said. Sometimes I will say, so tell me, if your bank account's busting at the seams, endless resources, you have all the time in the world, what would you spend your days doing? What would your life look like if you had any and everything in the world that you wanted? What would that look like for you? And some people will just say, I have absolutely no idea. Like it's never occurred to them to even think about what they would do if they could do anything. And so at that point, I'm a big dreamer, and I will talk to them about dreams and dreaming bigger. Some people will say, well, yeah, I thought of it. Whitney said, I mean, honestly, I just want to be here on my dairy farm and take care of my parents and, make our farm the best it can. And I'm like, well, Whitney, this is possible. Like everything you just talked about is possible, and it's possible with Plexus because this can be the vehicle to help you realize your dreams and to live them out. And I can say that with complete confidence because I see it around me all day, every day. And I tell them stories, the Rolodex of stories. I have a best friend who is now home with her 4 kids after teaching all day and all year. And she's, more than 5 times surpassed her income. I see that. I see a homeschooling mama from a little town who now has all 5 of her kids in this private school that could probably pay somebody's mortgage, over and over. And she's able to do that now, and she wouldn't have been able to do that. And so share stories, build belief. These calls are about casting vision. That is the number one purpose outside of connection, is just to cast vision and be that third-party validation. And so we talk about their dreams, and then when they tell me, I say, all that's possible, but I want you to dream a little bigger. Like take what you've got there and then go bigger. think about it. And we just kind of hang out there for a minute, think a minute. And then I'll ask them again, how do you feel about that? Like, would you love to be living your dream life? Well, yeah, of course I would love to be living my dream life. And so I say, well, all this is possible. And I want to tell you about something really great that we have as a company. It's a program for people that want to get started quickly and just want to get a few of their friends on board quickly. If we were to get 3 of your friends on board in your first 30 days, you're looking at almost $400 in your pocket. What would you do with that $400? Where would that go? And then, they'll tell me a little bit. And I say, okay, well, this is doable. How do you feel about it? Do you want to give it a shot? And they'll usually say, I don't know, maybe. And so we'll kind of, fill them out. Some people are like, not yet, and that's okay. So we'll, kind of end the call, whatever, and continue to plant seeds in our 3-way chat that we have going, and along, inviting them to vision casting calls, all the things. Some people are like, yeah, I think I could go ahead and do that. And so they'll say, what does that look like? And so I'll say, well, one thing would be definitely to get you a post up on Facebook. That's a great way to show people what you're doing, that you're excited about it, and expose a lot of people to what you're doing at once. So Facebook posts are a really great way to do that. The other thing would be to talk to some people. We can send Facebook messages, we can call, we can text, whatever you prefer. We've got some great templates that I can help you with. But we definitely want it to be genuine, come from your heart, we're not trying to sell people on anything. We just want people to know that you're excited about something. You think they may be excited about it too. Are they open to hearing about it? It's that simple. I'm excited. I think you'll be excited. Can I tell you about it? That's it. It's not threatening. It's not pushy. It's not salesy, but that's it. And so I'll say, which one of these sounds like what you'd want to do first? People go both ways, messaging or posting. Most people prefer posting, I've found, because I guess it's less invasive, or scary. I'm not sure. But, and so at that point, I'm saying, okay, well, great. Once we hop off the phone, Haley's going to start a chat with us, and we'll send you some great samples, some templates, and you can use them as is. You can tweak them, or you can use them as inspiration to write your own post. A lot of people do that. We'll throw up a cute picture with it and go from there. We can help you. What I want you to know from this is we're here for you every step of the way. You're never, ever alone in it. And we have a team full of resources and a super, super simple system to help you be successful, because that's what we want, is for you to be successful. Because all these dreams you talked about, and I always bring it back to dreams, all these dreams you talk about, this is the way to make them happen. This is a vehicle to make them a reality. And I'm excited for you. Let's go. Like, woohoo, the cheerleader in me comes out at that point. But let's go, let's go, let's do this. We've done it. We're doing it. You can do it too. Anybody can do it. And that's it. It's really simple, and it probably is scary the first few times. But the good thing about welcome calls is you're learning while your new person is learning. So your new person is having big vision cast for them. You are also building your belief while you're on the call, but you're also learning how to do a call. So I'm doing calls with Haley. She's learning because she's hearing me. Well, that way, when Whitney or Katie or Haley or whoever brings her calls, she's going to then know how to do the call herself for her people. So it's a double thing. It's not just benefiting you and your level 1 and her new person, but then she's going to be able to take the call and duplicate it with her people. They'll be able to take it and duplicate it with their people. It's very simple duplication. And without duplication, you don't have a business. Like, you just don't have a long-term business. So if you're scared to get on the call, do it anyways. You will not die, I promise, because I'm not dead. Definitely not dead. But just get on the calls, do it, because we do what successful people do. And this is what it is. Get on the phone with your people. 6 out of 9 are silver. That's a big number. So that's all I have.
It was so good, Emily. That's so inspiring. Did y'all see how she used Bill Felt Pound?
Yep.
She was like,